Hey everyone, something a little bit different this time. This is going to be a bit of a video log. Hopefully there's no background noise, there are people outside the car. I was planning on recording this whilst I was driving, or whilst we were driving, but it's absolutely chucking it down here and the roads were noisy, so there was no chance of that. So I've just got a couple of minutes now before I go into this event to record this. So it's about 7 o'clock now, we've just got to the event. This is my first ever comic book convention, or first ever selling at one at least. We are at the York Racecourse, I think it's called. I will show some footage on screen now so you can have a quick look of how it looks at this moment in time. I am extremely nervous about this. I am excited as well, but we'll see how this goes. I'm preparing for the worst so that I can't be disappointed and I can only be pleasantly surprised. So I'm not sure what it will be like for recording inside the venue. I don't know what the rules are. So I will put up a bit of footage now, which is just some stuff I recorded whilst I was setting up a bit of a trial run at home. So basically I'm going to be selling mainly stickers, also a couple of prints and some magnets I think I've got. Aside from that, it's mainly enamel pins and wooden pins as well, and keyrings that I'll be selling. So just general merchandise, but most of what I sell is stickers. Apologies, the rain is getting heavier again. Not ideal, my stickers will probably get drenched on the way in, my display boards that I've set up. So I've spent an absolute fortune on the setup for this, much more than I was planning. I'll have to do more conventions after this just to get my money back from all the setting up, because this is only a one-day event, this one. It's only quite a short day as well. I think that people who bought like a VIP pass or some sort of, I don't know, priority pass get in at 10 AM, but for the general public it's not actually open until 11 AM. Yeah, I think that's right. And it's only open to about 5 o'clock, so it's not a very long day. So I've got my Harry Potter top on. I'm not sure what the rules are again on recording inside, so hopefully I will provide an update soon. If I can, I'll try to get some footage inside whilst I'm setting up. Aside from that, wish me luck. So another quick stop to record quickly, a bit of fresh air. I'm quite high up in this building, a couple of floors up. It's not a particularly big room that I've been put in, some sort of bar. I'll show some footage, I'll record some as soon as I get in there before I set up. And it is raining, it's settled a little bit, but hopefully my stock won't get too wet. My main concern at this point is that the room I'm in won't be very busy. It's a little bit out the way, but fingers crossed it will be okay. Hey everyone, welcome back. It's actually the day after the convention now. I was going to record last night on the way home, but it was just too noisy in the car and it was later than expected by the time I got back, so I'm running a bit behind, but at least I can give it my full attention today. I wanted to start just by saying a massive thank you to anyone that did stop by my stall and buy anything, or even just say hello. I don't really have much of a following online at the moment on social media or anything like that, but I did actually meet one guy who said he'd been looking for me because he followed me on Facebook, so that made my day. I was really pleased about that, so big shout out to that guy. I'm afraid I don't know his name, unfortunately. So in terms of earnings, I'm not going to go too much into that in this video, or at least I'm not going to go into the actual figures. I did make a little bit of money, but when you consider all the things I sort of had to pay for to get there, kind of didn't make money. But what I will do is I will make a full video dedicated to that, and I'll give you the exact figures, what I spent, what I earned, anything I can think of, a breakdown in that video I will do. So let me know below in the comments if that is something you would be interested in seeing, and if you are, make sure that you subscribe and keep an eye on the channel. Anyway, I did make some sales, but yeah, it was less than I hoped I would make. There could be a couple of reasons, one of which is all the COVID lockdown stuff has only recently opened up again, here in the UK at least. Now, I don't know if that had any effect on it or not. Obviously, it's my first convention. I couldn't compare it to anything. The people on the stall next to me did mention the actual venue I was at was one of the better venues with this company, but it didn't look to me like it was that busy. Like, I've been to some in the past, not as a seller, just as someone looking around, and the queues have been out the doors. Whereas with this one, I kept peering out over the balcony, and I just didn't really notice many people out there. So I don't think it was that busy, maybe compared to other conventions, or even the same convention if it hadn't been COVID, maybe, who knows. But also, as mentioned earlier, I was in a room that was like a couple of floors up. I was set quite far back. The guys next to me, and this wasn't really their fault, but they had quite a lot of stuff that kind of towered above mine and was a little bit further forward than my stall. So it sort of made me look a little bit set back and quite a small stall in comparison. Again, I don't know if that would have actually made any difference, but it probably didn't help. So the traffic will have been less in that room compared to, you know, if I'd have been in the main hall downstairs, I have a feeling I would have done much better. And it sort of went through stages. So for the first few hours, or when it first opened for the premium ticket holders from like 10 to 11, I didn't actually see many people and no one bought anything. I barely got a glance. Even when it was open to the public, it was a good probably hour before I started making a few sales. I had quite a lot of people that genuinely just sort of walked past the stall and they didn't even like glance over to see what I was selling, and they'd walk straight past. Now, I'm sure a lot of people get that, but unfortunately I feel like even if I would have been selling something they would have wanted, they didn't seem to even look. I'm not too sure what the fix would be for that. Maybe have something that stands out more or something like that. But overall, I was actually really pleased with my display. It doesn't look like much, but it was quite a good way for me to display everything with the space I had, and I actually thought it looked kind of cool. I also noticed that a lot of the sellers in general at this convention were selling figures and, you know, similar, again, Funko Pops, that type of thing, some costumes, that kind of thing. There was a lot less art than I was expecting. I did see a few other artists, but not many at all. For me, the actual best sellers were any of the sticker deal, so 3 for X amount, for example, and also the enamel pins I was selling seemed to do quite well. Keyrings surprisingly didn't do very well, and I thought they were reasonably priced. I didn't change my prices throughout the convention, but I already had them a lot cheaper than I would sell them online, so I didn't want to go any lower than that. So I would love to hear your comments below. Hopefully I can put something on screen so that you can get a rough idea of what my layout looked like. So for you guys who go to a lot of conventions or sell at a lot of conventions, you know, leave me some feedback below. Let me know if you think that I'm doing anything wrong or anything that I should be improving. I'm sure there are plenty of things. But overall, it was quite a nice experience. It was very tiring. I did make sales, I did give out business cards, and I did get a few people to sign up for my newsletter. So it was a success. Was it worth it? I'm not sure. I guess the biggest question is, would I do it again? And the answer to that, at the moment at least, would definitely be yes. I don't think one is enough to properly trial it or give it a chance. So I am going to look at other conventions that are coming up soon. I don't know much about specific types. Obviously there's like an anime convention, cosplay convention. They're probably not my biggest target audience, but I'm going to do a little bit of research, see what I can find. So that's it, guys. I hope you found this video useful, especially if you're considering doing a convention. This is something I'd thought about probably for a few years before I actually dared to do it. So if you did enjoy this video, make sure you hit that thumbs up button, leave me a comment below, and of course, subscribe and turn notifications on for future content. Thanks for watching, everyone.